Breaking Bridget. Sexual reassignment industry is predicted to reach over $3 billion by 2032.
You guys, how can people not see what a blatant money grab this is? This is insane. And 60% of the market or 61% of the market share is male to female. So there's a lot of dudes cutting their dicks off. Let's talk about that. I really want to know what's going on. I know we live in a culture that's been pretty hard on men, but guys, you don't need to cut your dick off to fit into society.
Now, some of you might think that this is a little crazy.
The chilling line, and there's a lot of chilling stuff about this. It was like a market report. So they're gross anyways, because they're just so clinical and something that is so not clinical. So there's this line. The goal of SRS is to change a person's physical sex characteristics to match their gender identity. Stated as a fact. This is pseudoscientific nonsense. The idea of a gender identity, this is as scientific as the idea of a soul. And you can debate that all you want. I don't think you should be making biological changes to perfectly healthy body parts on children because of some fantasy idea that is not proven or real. This is crazy. Mm-hmm. This is a death cult. This is a death cult. This is like people who believe in the rapture and then kill all their kids. This is the sterilization of all of these young people, even if they're 18 plus. My therapist is like, you should not be doing any of this shit until your brain is fully formed and you're 25. Mm-hmm. Like, you shouldn't be making these changes. Your brain is not fully formed.
You can't legally rent a car until you're 25.
It's so gross. And just the way they talk about this. As the need for transgender healthcare has been more widely recognized, more insurers have begun to include coverage for these treatments in their healthcare plans. This may make it simpler and cheaper for transgender people to get the care they require. Government funding can also be a significant factor in the market for sex reassignment surgery. Through publicly funded healthcare systems or other programs, the government of some nations pays for these procedures. This can make it more likely that those who require certain procedures can get them, regardless of their financial position. You realize they're convincing a whole population that taking out a healthy womb, a healthy penis, healthy boobs, this is healthcare. Take it when in the history, this is eugenics. Like, this is a fucking scandal. When has a doctor ever gone, oh, these perfectly healthy body parts, let's remove them? When it's not like, oh, you have cancer. It is insanity. And it's a total money grab by all of these freaking medical institutions, insurance companies, governments are getting on board. Nonetheless, it is significant to remember that even with increased insurance coverage or government funding, access to these procedures may still be restricted in some nations. Good! More effort must be done to ensure that transgender people can get the health care they require to live healthy and productive lives, since many people still encounter legal, societal, or economic hurdles to receiving the treatment they require. Look, if you're an adult and you want to do these things and you feel that it will make your life better, I don't think a government should stand in the way of you being able to do this. I think you probably should wait until you're 25 to make these decisions, because we've spoken to many people on my podcast who have transitioned even after 19 and regret it. So don't think that this is going to solve all your problems if you're feeling like you're uncomfortable in your own body. Yeah, I was uncomfortable in my own body too. And I freaking drank myself into oblivion until I quit drinking. And I still had to deal with not being comfortable in my body. It's not just a magical fix.
And somehow the detransitioners are not getting the attention.
Of course they're not, because how can you not see that this is a fucking money grab? It's a huge $3 billion business. You're convincing people of this nonsense that gender identity is a thing. Like, it undermines the rights of women, the rights of gay people. It undermines so many basic ideas that biological sex isn't real.
Boys have a penis, girls have a vagina. Thanks for the tip.
Therefore, you can just swap out your body parts. They don't talk about go look at a Reddit forum of men who have done this and live with regret and have nightmares about it. It's some of the most disturbing shit you'll ever read.
And we're not given the proper information about long-term consequences and side effects and what could legitimately happen to their bodies.
And you have a whole institution of psychologists and medical doctors who can't say, hey, maybe you should pause. Maybe you'll grow out of this because you'll maybe lose your license. Like this, honestly, it's some of the most sinister I've ever seen in my life. It breaks every week. It breaks me. And it's fucking everywhere. How is this everywhere?
In 10 years, there's going to be so much fallout from this.
Maybe.
Just no.
Or maybe I'll be in prison for being some kind of thought criminal. I'm glad people are pushing back against it. I don't think parents should be able to make the decision for their kid to do this. Because I don't trust these narcissistic Instagram moms either.
Yeah.
Because now there's a whole culture of being a parent of one of these kids.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, Marcus, you got about two options right now. You can be a boy trapped in a girl's body, or you can be a boy trapped in his own room for the next year.
It's just so f***ed. I don't trust any of these people. I feel so bad for these kids. I feel so bad for these kids. And I totally have sympathy for parents because you don't know what to do. There's nobody who can really tell you what to do. Again, interviewed Carol Markowitz, and she's like, you basically have to move or pull your kid out of the school or get them offline. I mean, it's so kids are so impressionable. It is dark.
Yeah.
It is dark. And they're sterilizing them.
Yeah. This is for the rest of their lives.
Yeah. There's no pausing puberty. If by pausing you mean you're never going to have an orgasm and you're never going to have children biologically, maybe you can have a freaking synthetic embryo in a growth sac. It's, I can't. I understand Nazi Germany.
What?
Like, I understand how so many people can just go along with something insane and criminal and upsetting and disgusting because
it's spun the right way.
It's crazy by a government and by technology and the media. It's fucking insane. I mean, if this shit gets me banned, I don't care. I will go down swinging.